This is Vanilla. At first, she might seem like your everyday average influencer, but the truth is, in reality, she is far from being a normal influencer. On her videos, she appears to be a typical Japanese vlogger, but the thing is, these days, you can't trust everything you see online. When Vanilla was young, she faced bullying during her school years without fully understanding why she was targeted. This kept going on for most of her time in school because she didn't have the courage to talk about it with her family. She felt like it would have been pointless to share her struggles with them due to their relationship being somewhat distant. The only real communication she seemed to have with her mother was beauty and cosmetic related, which eventually led to her being fixated on beauty from a very young age. Now we all know looking good is important anywhere in the world. When you're attractive, people treat you differently and life just tends to get a little easier. Japan is no different in that regard, though the interesting thing is that being beautiful in here is not just a minor convenience, it can change your whole life. Becoming an idol is every girl's dream in Japan, and we all know that the most important factor in becoming an idol is to look good. This isn't all that easy in Japan because the beauty standards in the country are strict. But it's not only being a celebrity that requires looking good. Whether you want to become a rickshaw girl, a weather woman, or a ramen chef, looks are very important. Japan is still very much an old-school patriarchal society where your looks as a woman directly affect your career opportunities. I've recently been job hunting a bit, and it's not uncommon for me to see the job descriptions mentioning how they have young women working at the offices. Many industries hire young beautiful women as sort of mascots to their business to both boost morale within the company and to attract more customers. I'm not saying this doesn't happen in other countries, but it's definitely something that is extremely common and on a whole new level in Japan. Just like you might have seen on my recent Tokyo Game Show video, there wasn't a single booth in the event without cosplay girls trying to lure you in. If you want to blow your mind a bit with how monetized beauty is in Japan, just think of how many different industries there are where girls are the commodity. You got hostess clubs, girls bars, maid cafes, idols and underground idols, not to forget actual escorts and the whole Japanese adult entertainment itself, all of which are extremely huge industries and part of everyday life in here. It's safe to say looks aren't everything, but god damn if they aren't important in Japan. In a society like this, it is easy to start questioning your own looks. But there are times when people get lost in their own insecurities and simply go too far. This happened with Vanilla, when she got to her head that she wanted to be turned into a living French doll and she was ready to pay and do anything for her dream to come true. In order to become a French doll, Vanilla has had hundreds of surgeries done to her, which in total have cost her around $2 million. She has had her forehead surgically altered by peeling back her scalp and inserting an artificial bone to make her forehead more prominent. And in order to get the widest teeth in the world, she spent $100,000 to replace all of them with custom-made zirconia teeth. The sad part is that even with all this money and effort she has spent on customizing her body, she still only feels like she is only 8% of the way towards achieving her ideal French doll look. Because she feels like she is so far away from her goal, she uses heavy filters on her videos to make her look nothing like she actually looks. After all the pain, the surgeries and the money spent, Vanilla still relies on heavy filters that warp her face beyond recognition, which begs the question, was all of this just for nothing? But there are videos of her where you can see her true $2 million look.
そういうまだ活動する前の時は夜の仕事を水商売で北新地でホステスをしてたりとか、今だったらだいたい SNS 関係とかが多いですかね。
It's not like she looks horrible, but the cold hard truth is, at least to me, she would most likely look better if she had not done any of those surgeries. Whenever you do too much plastic surgery, you'll end up looking unnatural. And she is sadly no exception. Add some weird makeup on top of it and yeah. I'm of the opinion that anyone can do whatever they want to their bodies, because it's their body after all, and if it makes them happy, it's none of my business. However, in this case, I do feel bad for her, because to me, she just doesn't seem happy.
今の携帯にはもう満足はしてますか？
いや、満足はしてないですね。満足ってことはもうなんか完成ってことだと思うから全然まだまだ。でも何かしらね、維持っていうかほっといたら絶対老けるだけなんで、それを避けたいからまあ。
Especially considering the heavy use of filters, even though she has already modified her body so much. I think if nothing is enough for you, you should just stop.
人間に生まれてきたこと自体が私的に間違いだった的な、なんか違う姿で生まれてきてしまった感じ。だから今はどちらかというと元に戻す手術をしている感覚なんですよね。
It's completely fine and many times even preferable to not look traditionally attractive. There are many people out there who don't have a symmetrical face and otherwise have a somewhat weird look, who have made a career out of simply looking unique. To me, it's hard not to feel sympathy for Vanilla. Behind all of these surgeries and filters, there's a sense that she's chasing something she can never really reach.
そうですね。親に相談すると、まあ別にブサイクだし整形すればみたいな感じ。
それ親が言います？
いや、言われましたね。私も自分でそう思ってたからそうだよねって思うだけで。
The deeper question here is how much of this is really about beauty and how much is about trying to fix something inside. Japan can be tough when it comes to beauty standards. In here, if you are different or look different, you're not going to fit in. It doesn't matter if it's because you're a foreigner or because you're overweight. People will look at you differently and single you out. This is why in Japan, everyone will try their best to conform and fit in. After watching multiple interviews of her, I can confidently say one thing, and that is the fact that she seems like a lovely woman. She has a calming way of speaking, and she seems to be a wonderful, understanding person. No wonder she has made millions working as a hostess. But she is very self-deprecating, and at least I feel an underlying sadness when she talks about herself and her looks. But I don't think that was ever truly the problem with Vanilla. When you look at those childhood photos of her, she looked like a completely normal, nice girl. There was nothing wrong with her. She was simply bullied at school because kids can be assholes. I think Vanilla mistook the problem being in herself rather than in others. It wasn't that she was ugly, it was simply that the other kids were cruel. So she took trying to conform as her life mission by trying to become beautiful, only to drift further apart. She spent her life trying to change herself to fit in, but all it did was push her further away from the acceptance she was looking for.